mates, welcome back to another episode of the Merry Make-a-thon. Today we are using our Cricut to make a fabulous plant holder. This was a pretty easy project with a few exceptions. One being that you should really get a glazed ceramic pot and not a plastic one, which you will see in the video because I kept all my bloopers in. But this is really fun. It's a bit of a pun. I love it. So let's just get straight into it. Alright, I don't have a Cricut subscription, so I went online to find my SVG, which is this Bee Gees face outline. I love a good pun, so that's what we're doing. And it always opens the images, which kind of annoys me, to be honest. It's a new update. We're going to type the word staying alive and then pick a nice bold font to make it as easy to read as possible. This is partly because it looks cool and mostly because I am quite lazy. You can have it above or below. I just chose below. And then we're going to align and then vertical align. And then you want to also attach it. And then that way, when we go to cut it, things aren't going to move. And I'm going to shrink it down to the size that I want. Now, I start off at 15 centimeters wide. But when I actually got a tape measure against the pot, I decided that was way too big. So we instead want 10 centimeters. So I'm just picking the size mat. It's about here that I realize that it's the wrong size. So we're going to go back through that. So now I come over here. I also need to place it on the other side, and I've shrunk it down a bit. But I forgot to change the mat size. You can see here I stuffed up. So we're going to cancel it to go back and change your mat size. So we're going to click cancel. Yes, you want to cancel. Go back, have the correct mat size, and then we can go through it all again. And I need it on that side because that's the amount of vinyl that I had. Like, it sticks out on that side. So we put that there. It's going to quickly cut it all for us. This is a brand new blade, so this actually cut a little bit deeper than I anticipated, but it all works out in the end. Alright, so now that that's cut, you can see there's going to be quite a lot of little pieces. So what I think I'm going to do is reverse weeding. So we're going to just take some of this and we're going to be naughty and use the Fisker scissors. Now the only reason I'm using my fabric scissors to cut the paper is because I own a sharpener for these. If you do not have a sharpener for your scissors, do not cut paper unless they are becoming paper scissors. Alright, so we're just going to... Don't need this much, but I'm going to just cut it off as a straight line because it's so much easier to deal with. Alright. See that bit? Cut that off too. Now, you can keep that as a transfer for little things if you want. But I'm going to just lay that down, make it a little bit longer than I need. So these bits will go aside and I will keep them for other stuff in the future. It's future me's problem. And I like to use a sewing awl. Some people prefer the actual Cricut thing. It's entirely up to you what you prefer. I'm not the boss of you. So what I'm trying to do right now is pick off the backing. Like so. Put that part in the bin. You don't need it anymore. And then I am just going to put this on. Hopefully well. Alright. Like so, and then theoretically I should be able to reverse weed this. So it should just pull up everything. Although it did just tear, which is not a good start. Just saying. So I'm going to grab the other end, see if this end's any better. Now this was probably my fault. What are you going to do? I want to make sure it picks up that eye, so I'm just going to rub it. Now, theoretically, it will pick up everything, and then we can just come back and weed out the bits we don't need. This has actually cut all the way through, so I didn't add any extra pressure, but it has cut quite a lot, to be honest. Okay, so that's what that looks like. I'm just going to put that on the floor so that we can focus. And then we can just take our sewing weeding tool and weed out the bits we don't need. So there's the A. Now this might not be easier for you. You're welcome to do it the original way. You could have also put a box around it to make it easier to weed as well. There's no official right and wrong way to do this. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. And then I'm going to... So how I like to weed is I go to the outside edge and then I grab the next inner line that I can see and pull that. I work my way from out to in. That for me works best. So same here. So we're going to just gently lift up the face because I would prefer it if the eyes stay stuck to where I've got them. Right, right. Pull it. One eyebrow, two eyebrows. See, they stayed. So again, with this one, we're going to pull the same thing. I sometimes just stick it to the back of my hand because it's easier. If you have a weeding pot, you should absolutely use that. Now see? The eye moved, which is exactly what I was trying to avoid. So the reason the eye is moving is it hasn't quite let go. Try not to touch it with your actual finger. I'm using my nails. And I just want to get that last bit away. So there's not a lot to weed. Always check it from the front to make sure it's done correctly. And then we just take our pot. Now, some people have fancy holders. I am not one of those people. So I am just going to put it between my body and the table so it doesn't move. And then start in the middle. Now this is a curve. So we start in the middle, push down in the middle, and then smooth our way out. Same with the other side. Now I'm not sure if this plastic is going to take the sticker, and if it doesn't, we are going to end up doing an iron-on, because I am not feeling super confident that this is going to stick on here. The answer is no. So this is not a shiny plastic, it's a matte plastic, and it turns out that that means it won't stick, which is very unfortunate. So you could either go and get a shiny plastic, or we can probably do an iron-on. Alright, so the plastic one, I will do an iron-on one later, but let's not waste our sticker. I had to go down the street anyway. So this is a ceramic glazed pot. It was, I think, $2, maybe $3 from Bunnings, for those that live in Australia. So it's glazed. There were a few options. You want one that's somewhat shiny, because obviously if it's not a super smooth surface, our sticker won't stick. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to put it between me and a table. You can also create a cradle so it doesn't move. I don't make enough round things like this to bother creating a cradle, but I've seen people do it out of poly pipe and like a chopped up pool noodle. So again, I'm going to put it in the middle like that, and then we're just going to smooth it down. I'm going to do lots of rubbing, make sure it really sticks. I hope this is going to work, but see how this time around the backing, the transfer tape is stuck? That is a good sign. So then I'm just going to take the corner Oh no, what? Surely my transfer tape's not too sticky. I don't remember what brand of black this is, so maybe it's inferior. I don't know. But it's being rude if you ask me. So it is sticking. It just won't let go of the transfer tape, which is rude if you ask me. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it on itself and kind of rolling it off itself and tearing it at the same time. Not super ideal, but it is sticking. It's just stubborn. So I'm going to stick that to the inside of the bin, give it more of a rub. So this is probably due to the type of black I'm using. I could not tell you where I got it. I get it from all over. So it might be a Kmart one. It might be a Cricut one. I really have no idea. No, it's not a Cricut one. Cricut tends to have their logo on the back of it. So it's not Cricut. But whatever it is, it's not really working out. And also, the transfer tape is very sticky. So you can actually get two types of transfer tape. One is stickier than the other. That might be the case here where I've picked the heavy duty one. It's not working out for me, but the letters and everything are sticking. Another bit tall. This was supposed to be a quicker tutorial than this, but operator error has made it a bit longer. Sorry about that, guys. But things do happen. The transfer tape just won't let go. So I do know that you can buy a stronger transfer tape, and it's for glitter vinyls because it's hard to pick up glitter vinyl with normal transfer tape. So I'm wondering if this is the heavy duty stuff because I do vaguely remember buying some. But you can probably grab this if you want, give it a bit of a roll. We now have a fabulous plant pot. All I need to do is put a plant, which I took a cutting of my spider plant, which is an indoor plant, and I did while I was out getting this. I had to buy some potting mix as well. So now all we need to do is put a plant in it, and it is a perfect gift. Alright, so I've bought this stuff inside because it is really, really hot and glary outside, and I actually want you to be able to see. So I always use gardening gloves. This is a spider plant. Mine had babies, so it has like these little sprouts. So I've just had it sitting in water for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, and it's grown quite a lot of roots. So it's now ready to pot into something. So I did this in preparation of all this. So we're just going to add some really good quality potting mix. Spend the money on the good stuff. I don't like to make mine too thick. And then I'm just kind of going to dig a hole in the middle like that. Grab this, shove it in, and then sprinkle more dirt around the roots. And this is why I have this down, because I just made a really big mess everywhere. If you are going to do potting inside, make sure you're on tiles or floorboards where you can vacuum and sweep, and put down a tarp, because then you can just kind of collect it all up, shake it back in. And then I don't want to push down too hard. I'm not like a gardening aficionado or anything like that, but I have done enough. So you want the soil to not be so loose it's going to fall. And I like to really pack it in. Now that's not it for everyone, but I find that the soil eventually deteriorates and you lose it. So, fairly full, fairly firm, fabulous plant. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of that water in there to water it. And that is good to go as a plant. It's a great gift. You can do any kind of pun. If you're doing like a succulent, there's some funny adult versions of those. So it's whatever you can think of, or you can even just type pot plant puns into a Google search engine and it will give you a whole bunch of options. So I'm hoping now that it's in dirt, these like brown edges will go away, but I'm not really worried about that. The plant's not going to the person today, but still, great gift. It cost me some dirt, which I already had, a $2 pot, and a little bit of sticky stuff. And you're good to go. Vinyl is the word I'm after there. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. I hope that you like this. Please make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to see all the other ideas. Alright guys, bye!